Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome to the No DQ live recap of Friday Night SmackDown for October 18th, 2019, the first post-draft edition of SmackDown. Thank you to everyone watching, whether it's live or on demand. I appreciate your viewership as always. And if you do enjoy this video, please share it, tell a friend, spread the word. And if you're a new viewer, make sure you click on that subscribe button and turn on the notifications to get updates as they become available. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. We had the intro with AC/DC. Vince McMahon, always up to speed with pop culture. Although I will say this, I prefer AC/DC even if it's dated compared to what's currently out. Now, again, maybe I'm an old fart like Vince McMahon, but yeah, I'm cool with the rock song as the intro, for those of you wondering. We had the pyro, and one thing to note about the introduction is it's already been updated with the SmackDown superstars. You had Braun Strowman in there and everybody that got drafted. Well, most of the people at least. You had Roman Reigns versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship to kick off the show. You had the stat graphics with their accomplishments. You had Sami Zayn out there on commentary. When this match was announced, and it was announced on social media, the setup for it was Sami Zayn complaining about Roman Reigns being the first draft pick and him and Nakamura being further down. When this match was announced, my thought process was, I don't think Roman Reigns is getting the IC title because, well, he's the big dog, and I don't see Nakamura retaining by beating Roman Reigns, so probably a DQ. And that's exactly what it was. You had Sami Zayn interfering, but that did not cause the DQ. The DQ came when Baron Corbin, King Corbin, came in with the scepter to cause the disqualification. There was a beatdown after the match, and then Daniel Bryan made the save. Holla, 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 players. You know what this means. Anyways, the segment ended with Sami Zayn grabbing Bryan's leg, and then Nakamura hit the Kinshasa, but it was announced for the main event. At least it wasn't done like the very next segment. They announced for the main event, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan teaming up against Baron Corbin, King Corbin, and the Intercontinental Champion, Shin, also known as Shinsuke Nakamura. DJ Whitey with a $2 super chat says, call-in video Sunday, right, Aaron? You demand, not Becky. I haven't finalized when I will be doing another No DQ&A live, but I will let you know, DJ, as soon as I make a decision on that. Just stay tuned to the No DQ social media accounts for updates on that. And thank you for the super chat. Backstage, we had the New Day. They were singing something about how they don't want no children. Okay. We had Tucker from Otis and Tucker Heavy Machinery appear and talked about them teaming up together. They got to work together before the tag team turmoil match at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. Tucker wanted to lift the spirits, but Kofi noted that he already has the power of positivity, but a little interesting, subtle sign that maybe Kofi's not that happy with how things are going, because Tucker brought up how Kofi lost the Universal Championship to Brock Lesnar, and when this happened, Kofi started squashing and tearing up his pancake. So it was very subtle, but people did notice it. And we'll see if that's some kind of subtle sign of things to come. Maybe Kofi's going to actually show some aggression and show some frustration, but maybe not. Maybe this is going to lead to absolutely nothing. Who knows? You had Otis. Oh yeah, Otis show up. he had some pancake batter and he wanted to add some protein to this pancake batter. And that was that. I will say, Otis is always entertaining. He's a throwback to the 1980s with this over-the-top persona, which I like because we don't have enough of that in today's wrestling. It's all about the flips. It's all about the kickouts at 2. It's all about how many spots you can get in one match and how many crazy gymnastics you can do. It's nice to have an old school 80s character like Otis. I like Otis. So he elevated this segment for me personally. We had Baron Corbin interviewed about his interference. His response was to just put on his crown, laugh, and walk away. Next up, we had Chad Gable, Shorty G, whatever you want to call him, up against Curtis Axel from the B team. I will say this, there was no reaction to Gable when he came out there. I mean, WWE had this crowd shot of Gable making his entrance, and the people were just sitting there. Nobody applauded, nobody stood up. It was just people sitting there, and it was crickets. Really embarrassing, and it just goes to show that up to this point, this whole short gimmick is not getting people to care about him, despite good matches. Anyways, Gable beat Axel very quickly with the ankle lock, and then did this post-match interview to try and get the gimmick over. Gable talked about how he's always been held back because of his size, but he looked in the mirror and realized that the height is what makes him who he is, and he is embracing his shortness. And he had a motivational message to the people talking about how you can overcome things, just accept who you are. And then he said he's going to take it one step further. He is officially now known as Shorty G, which was the big rumor for the past couple months that he was going to be known as Shorty G. And now it is official. Shorty G. So we will see how long this will last for him, or if this gimmick will in fact come up short. We had a Hulk Hogan promo via Skype. At least he didn't have as many issues with Skype as I have sometimes doing the No DQ review. But anyways, Hogan brought up how there will be a big announcement at the end of the show about the new team captain. Seth Rollins has been pulled because he's already got the Crown Jewel match with Bray Wyatt, so he's not able to do double duty. I guess Seth Rollins is not the architect after all, because he can only do one match in one evening. So Hogan mentioned that and then brought up, I guess they're officially part of Team Hogan now. Hogan brought up Ali and Shorty G, and I guess that means they're going to be part of Hogan's team. Ali, Shorty G. Ali G? Booyakasha! We need Sacha Baron Cohen to come out there and be the manager of a tag team, Ali and Shorty G, with Ali G as the manager. Book it, WWE. If anything, get it at WrestleMania. That would be awesome. Ali and Shorty G with Ali G as their manager. I would mark out for that. So next up we had Heavy Machinery and the New Day against Rudolph and the Revival. But before I get to that, Psycho Jet Black with a $5 super chat, which makes Psycho Jet Black the first No DQ super chat champion of the evening. And with a $5 super chat or more, you can become the new champion. You can dethrone Psycho Jet Black. He says, win via the Randy Orton punt. Is Marco's stunt more over than EC3? Well, you guys tell me in the chat room what you think about that. Also, is Bray Wyatt losing a crown jewel since he's on SmackDown and Rollins is on Raw? Great question, and I will get to that when I talk about the crown jewel match and the big announcement regarding that. So stay tuned. I will give my thoughts on that. A programming note from WWE. Next week, it will be on FS1 SmackDown because of the World Series coverage. and WWE did have several commercials and several announcements regarding this. We had the tag team match, as I mentioned, Heavy Machinery, New Day versus Rudolph and Revival. We had the babyfaces pick up the victory, Midnight Hour, to pin Scott Dawson, and there you go. The babyfaces building up momentum heading into that tag team turmoil match, the greatest tag team turmoil match to determine the best tag team in the world. I'm still waiting for Shane McMahon to come back with a mystery partner and somehow win that tag team turmoil. WWE should just do it to troll the fans. I would laugh my ass off. We had a Daniel Bryan backstage promo. He talked about how him and the big dog, the vegan dogs as I like to call them, they're going to put the two kings in their place. We had a little Ali video promo, and then we had Miz TV with Bayley coming out to explain her actions from last week. She came out with her new music, her new intro, and also her best friend, Sasha Banks. Sasha got on the mic and said she's there to support her best friend and mentioned how Bayley is the first Grand Slam Women's Champion in WWE. And ladies and gentlemen, Psycho Jet Black has been dethroned via Shanti. Kurtz with a $5 super chat says, Shanti is your new super duper Shorty Sean, and I will win via the stomp to the toes and finger poke of doom. Shanti, 24/7 Denny's champion. Well, with the No DQ Super Chat Championship, you can win it from anywhere. You can win it from your own home. You can win it at Denny's. You can win it at IHOP, Burger King, McDonald's, Arby's, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, anywhere your heart desires. So we had Bayley asked by The Miz, why, Bayley? Why? Why did you do it? We had a recap shown of what Bayley did, destroying the Bayley buddies and cutting her hair and all this stuff. The kid crying, which went viral. Bayley responded by saying the go-to line every time somebody turns heel, I don't owe you an explanation. And then Miz was like, well, what are you, a champion that doesn't talk? Are you like Brock Lesnar now? Is Sasha Banks going to be your Paul Heyman? And Miz then added, maybe you'll just play second fiddle to Sasha Banks. Sasha then responded by saying that they don't need to listen to a guy who got drafted in the 5th round of the draft. Miz then responded by saying it doesn't matter when he's drafted. People listen when he talks, and he said that at least he doesn't have to slash the Bayley buddies to be relevant in WWE. Bayley then got triggered by that and finally gave her explanation, which I'm happy for. I was going to say, if Bayley just said that line, I don't owe you an explanation, I would have been pissed off. But she did, in fact, explain herself. She said she did what she did because the Bayley buddies defined her career. They represented her being fun and colorful. And she said she gave it her all. She did everything she could to be a role model, but all the people did was take from her. And when she lost her championship at Hell in the Cell, nobody was there for her. Nobody gave her a hug. And she said she picked herself up and won her title back on her own. And when she went back there, nobody gave her a hug. She talked about how the women's division is lazy and she has outgrown them. And then she provided some motivation to everybody. She used an old Vince McMahon line from approximately 2000, somewhere around there when you had the McMahon-Helmsley regime. The quote from Vince that Bayley used was, "Life sucks, and then you die." Nikki Cross came out and she said the time for talk is over. The time for action is now. That led to Dana Brooke coming out and saying, not so fast, it's time for a new beginning. She started flexing her arms and encouraged the fans to do the same thing. Then you had Lacey Evans come out, and thankfully, this wasn't one of those segments where every single person in the six-pack challenge came out with a microphone. Lacey just came out and we had our commercial break. We came back. We had the six-pack challenge to determine Bayley's next challenger. Bayley was there at ringside along with Sasha Banks. Ken, my man Ken, terminated by Google with a $10 super chat. So we gotta do an extra super chat promo for him. He says, and I quote, Rift, is it okay to use a finisher from an AEW superstar? Yes. And he says, anyways, I'll use Jack Evans's modified backslide from AEW Dark. By the way, he has a question about AEW Dark. Ask at the end of the live stream. Yeah, go for it, Ken. Make sure you remind me about that question at the very end of the video, and I will answer it. And we'll talk about AEW Dark a little bit. Let's get back to SmackDown, the six-pack challenge. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, they were working together during the match. There was one spot where all six of them did a big superplex or suplex in the ring. Not really a superplex, but I guess if there's six of them, you could call it a superplex. But technically, the superplex is off the top rope. This was just done in the middle of the ring. So I guess it was just a semi-superplex with all six of them. Nikki Cross ended up picking up the win, which I felt was the obvious outcome. Nikki won with the spinning neck breaker, had a big stare down with Bayley. Bayley held up the championship, and there you go. Oh, by the way, Michael Cole brought up the blockbuster trade with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss being drafted to SmackDown. Whatever. We had a video package of Braun Strowman destroying things over the past few years, flipping over the limousines and all that crazy stuff he's done to hype up the match with Tyson Fury at Crown Jewel. And then we had a Hell in a Cell recap of Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. And then we had the footage of Rollins destroying the Firefly Funhouse. And then we had the graphic to promote Rollins versus Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And here's the kicker. It's official now, and this was in quotes. The match cannot be stopped for any reason at Crown Jewel. So I guess that means there must be a winner in this Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, here's the thing, to quote Jeff Meacham. Bray Wyatt is on SmackDown now. Seth Rollins is on Raw. So if Wyatt wins the title, does that mean the Universal Championship is on SmackDown? Or does that mean that Bray Wyatt competes on Raw again? Like, if that's the case, what was the point of even drafting Wyatt to SmackDown? Or can he appear on both shows? What's going to happen here? Or is Seth Rollins going to win the match and piss everybody off? So yeah, I don't know what that means. I guess we'll find out. I guess there's going to be a follow-up to Rollins and Wyatt on Raw. So even though Wyatt has been drafted, I guess he's going to be on Raw this Monday. Okay. Next up, we had Braun Strowman versus Drew Gulak from 205 Live, who was making his SmackDown Live debut. Gulak got on the mic and said since it's his debut, he wanted to properly introduce himself as the former Cruiserweight champion. He said if Braun does his monster gimmick, he's not going to beat Tyson Fury at Crown Jewel. And then Gulak proceeded to show a PowerPoint presentation, or at least he wanted to. He had 345 slides to show how Strowman can defeat Tyson Fury. But before we could even get to the second slide, Braun Strowman rudely attacked him, beat the crap out of him, did the bum rush, and then hit the power slam to pick up the victory. And then Michael Cole had to twist the knife in poor Drew Gulak by saying, Gulak probably wishes he was back on 205 Live. Ouch. If that's not a sign that 205 Live doesn't matter, Michael Cole saying that, I don't know what is. Power Packers 90 with a $2 super chat says, So you can't pin or submit if you can't stop the match. Well, here's an unfortunate scenario. Like, hopefully we don't have Bray Wyatt or Seth Rollins getting hurt legitimately, because then I guess you would have to end the match, right? So that would be quite unfortunate if that happened. And thank you for the super chat. And Psycho Jet Black with the $2 super chat says it will be a double countout. It'll be funny if there's still some kind of screwy finish now in this match. Like if WWE somehow finds a way to screw the fans again. And thank you for that super chat, Psycho Jet Black. We had some promotion for next week's SmackDown. It will be on FS1 because of the World Series game. There will be a face-to-face between Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez. It is the go-home show before Crown Jewel. And also, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair will be on the show. So we'll see if WWE can get a ratings bump, if they'll recover on FS1. But with the World Series, I mean, it's going to be tough. WWE is going to have some tough competition, and they're not on Fox. They're on FS1. Could be a brutal night, but Hogan and Flair popped the rating before. We'll see if they can do it again so quickly after their previous appearance on Raw. And then we had the main event, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, the Vegan Dogs against Baron Corbin and Shin, also known as Shinsuke Nakamura. Roman Reigns did the spear to Corbin through the barricade, and then Daniel Bryan hit the running knee to pin the IC champion Nakamura, and that was the end of the show. We had an FS1 commercial to set up next week, and that was the end of SmackDown. Yes, they are the Vegan Dogs. Just K says LOL with the Vegan Dogs. Well, apparently TGS found that to be so funny that he was unable to even appear on the No DQ review this week. He was still laughing at that. So let's go ahead and do the vegan letter grade for SmackDown. I thought it was a decent show, but nothing really blew me away. So my letter grade is a C+ for SmackDown. I thought it was pretty average. I did like Bayley's promo, but everything else I thought was just average. The People's WWE channel gave it a B. Pow Packers 90, pretty positive here. B-, fun show. Harley with a B-. Michael Wayne with a B-. Tic Tat Tat with a C. Chris Mace gives it a C-, probably because of what happened to Drew Gulak. Kayfabe Candy Ass was not quite impressed. Gave it a D. Curtis Butler with a B-. Kev Dog with a C+. Macaroni Tony with a D-. Mike B with a C-. OG Crushes with a C-, and Marvin with a B. Caitlin gives it a C. Brando gives it a vegan C+. So, mixed bag. I'm seeing some B's, I'm seeing some D's, I'm seeing some C's. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat, off topic here, says, what are your favorite Disney movies? Well, probably Aladdin, Lion King would be my top two, and Pinocchio. The Game is on 100 with a $2 super chat says, I like it, Bayley telling fans to stick it, brother. Yeah, I thought it was a good promo, and again, I'm glad that she actually elaborated and just didn't say, I don't owe you an explanation. All right, so Ken, what was your AEW Dark question? And by the way, if you guys missed it, definitely check out the Kenny Omega, what is his name now? This is sad that I'm forgetting his name. The guy who got in the fight with Enzo Amore. Somebody help me out here. Joey Janela, thank you for that, OG. Again, that's sad that I forget his name, so maybe there's still work to do with building up his gimmick. But they had a crazy match on the AEW Dark. Like, for a match that's not being televised, I mean, that match was crazy. You had ladders, chairs, tables. They were taking some crazy bumps in that match. It was brutal. I mean, it was a pay-per-view quality match for sure. So I would recommend checking it out. from this past Tuesday's AEW Dark in Boston. And yeah, I'm enjoying AEW Dark so far, and it's a nice addition to the 2-hour AEW Dynamite. And I think it's pretty cool that they're making use of their dark matches and getting more coverage for some of these guys. Radical Velocity says, I love how main eventers appear on that show. All right, so I'm just waiting now on Ken Terminated by Google's question about AEW Dark. He said he was going to deliver it, so I'm just waiting on that. Psycho Jet Black says, what about NWA Power? I mentioned this on Wednesday. I'm enjoying the show so far. I like seeing Ken Anderson back and the return of Aaron Stevens, and I like the feel of it. I think it's only going to appeal to your most hardcore of hardcore wrestling fans, but it's still a nice little change of pace. So, I mean, it's definitely worth checking out. It might not be your cup of tea, but, I think it's pretty cool. All right, so here we go. Ken Terminated by Google, brand new No DQ Super Chat champion, left a $5 Super Chat, says, 2-part question, Rift. Are you going to live stream on AEW Dark? And did you watch the 8-man tag team match? That match is what made me an SCU mark. Well, to answer your question, I'm not going to do a live stream on Tuesday nights just because I like having a night off. But I will talk about it perhaps on the Wednesday live stream after Dynamite. Give my thoughts on Dark. I'll try to watch Dark on Tuesday nights. Yeah, the 8-man tag match was really solid. And, SCU... I've been a fan of all of them for years. Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian going back to like 2000 when they used to wrestle for Millennium Pro Wrestling ran by Barry Cohen. This was based in Los Angeles, California. There was a triple threat match, the first MPW show. It was Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, and Adam Pearce. And I believe that match is on YouTube somewhere. So if you guys haven't seen it, try to find it. You know what? I got to see if it's up on YouTube. Because that match, I actually filmed that match at ringside. I was like 17 years old. Let me see if I can find it here. Now, of course, it takes me to the YouTube studio, which I absolutely despise. But thank you for that. Oh, Shanti Cruz, or Shanti Kurz. I like to call him Cruz because I mispronounce everything. He says, with a $5 super chat, Shorty Sean Tiz, once again, your no DQ AEWWE Worldwide Heavyweight Shasta Champion. Time to have a little bit of the Shasta bubbly. Well, there you go. Shasta Cola represented here. The new no DQ Super Chat champion has to toast with some of that Shasta Cola. But which kind? Is it the lemon lime? Is it the traditional cola? What are you exactly celebrating with here, Shanti? All right, let's see if I can find that match. Kazarian, Daniels, Adam Pearce. Let me see if I could find it. Yep, it's here. It's from the MPW On Demand YouTube channel. So I encourage you guys to go check it out. You guys can actually see me. So here's a fun thing. You go on that video when you find it, you could see me there at ringside filming the match. Actually, the MPW On Demand, the thumbnail, I'm there with the camera filming the match. So you guys should go check that out. It's actually on my channel too. I forgot that I uploaded it. So check it out. It was from 2001. I think it was right before WCW went out of business. So it must have been like early March 2001. Daniels versus Kazarian versus Adam Pearce, who is currently working in WWE as a producer. So check that out. And I'll go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you guys for checking out this video. And again, if you enjoyed it, subscribe, tell a friend, spread the word, and make sure you click on that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications for updates. And I will see you guys soon for another No DQ video. Hopefully I'll get a Q&A up pretty soon. Hold on a second. Ken wanted to make sure he ended tonight as the No DQ Super Chat champion. Says, Rift, I don't know if you know CC Drink or her story, but she is a fascinating mom and a good friend in the chat room. This is for her and me. All right, well, you know what? CC Drink, this is a shout out to you. And thank you, Ken, Terminated by Google, for the super chat. I'll tell you what, you're both the No DQ super chat champion, co-champions for the evening to wrap this up. And on that note, I'll go ahead and wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much. Wait a minute. Hold on, we got a little feud here. We haven't had one of these in a while. Shanti with a $5 super chat says, "Mine's, damn it, LOL, Shorty Sean." Okay, so we got to come up with a finisher. Shanti just won the championship. He beat Ken and CC Drink at the same time. So we got to say, via the Iron Sheik double camel clutch to both Ken and CC Drink. A double camel clutch makes Shanti the new No DQ Super Chat champion of the world to close us out tonight. So on that note, I'm signing off, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening to everybody, and I'll see you all next time.